Good evening, everyone. I'd like to get this City Council meeting, Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority, regular meeting agenda underway today, Tuesday, December 16th, 2014, at approximately 6:35 p.m. Ms. Hurtado will be here shortly. Please note the attendance. Mr. Castro is absent.
He's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's here? There he's showing up now. We're just returning from closed session, and before we start, I'd like everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to defer to our city attorney for announcements in closed session.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. The City Council met in closed session. There was discussion, but no action item to report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda. Moved by Ms. Hurtado. Is there a second?
Second with the discussion.
Second by Mr. Kim for discussion.
I've been requested last meeting to put the agenda for the forensic audit for the old city department, not in agenda.
Okay, well, we'll get to that item when we come to the future agenda items.
So do we going to transparency our government to the public or not?
Yes, we will, Mr. Kim, and we'll get to that item when we get to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there now any other further discussion? Seeing that there is none, I'll call for the question on the approval of the agenda. Please vote. And looks like motion carries 4-1 with Mr. Kim in opposition. Announcements. These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations. At this time, we have number 3, the presentation by Infratech Industries on deployment of floating solar on city water ponds for the purpose of supplying on-site power, reduce TTHMS, and save on water evaporation. And I believe that is Mr. DuBose?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening. Honorable Mayor, members of the Council, I'm Tom DuBose, Development Design and Engineering from El Centro, and I'm pleased to tell you that we have teamed together with Infotech Industries out of San Diego. Let me do a little brief introduction about what we're talking about. We've been meeting with your staff, Nick Servine, and his staff about this particular technology. We wanted to make a presentation briefly to you tonight and continue to work with your staff and your city manager to get to a point where this could come back for consideration. We've been exchanging information, and we're pretty excited about what we think we have to offer for your consideration. I'll go back to last year's Renewable Energy Conference in March that IBEDC has every year, and where we thought that with the short mini explosion of solar that we've experienced here in the valley, that had come to an end, and what more is there in renewable energy? And we were pleasantly surprised of a lot of the new technologies that came to that particular conference, and this was one. And when I say new technologies, new for us, but not new around the world. This is unique. This is parts and components that are used in the world today, but not used necessarily except where this has been installed together. It offers the benefit of creating renewable power using photovoltaic panels, but in addition to that, enhanced with to give it a better productivity, with storage so that it becomes more base load than just peak under the duck curve, as everybody always discusses when they talk about renewable solar. It is utilized on floating rafts that would be placed on water ponds. In the case of Calexico, either your wastewater ponds or your water pretreatment ponds. The costs as we go forward, and this is a crystal ball issue, having to deal with the cost of energy, cost of managing our water resources, all we know is that that's going to escalate over a period of time, and we could all guess as to what that would be. This technology offers the opportunity to predict what your power rates could be behind the meter, hopefully saving the city dollars down the stream, and in addition, providing other benefits. Floating solar technology is utilizing space already used. If there's been a criticism for our great boom of solar development out there, it's because it's using ground that could be otherwise used, whether it was for agriculture or something else. I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to simply say that this is an alternative that utilizes space that's already being used and enhances and provides additional benefits. On the solar side, it's photovoltaic, which is proven technology that's further enhanced with battery backup that gives you more of a base load type of a feature. And it's all installed at the cost of the development, and the return is simply a power purchase agreement that would be negotiated with you, the city. In a sense, it would be the same as if the utility company came to you today and said, how would you like to lock in your rates today for the next 25 years? And that's really what we're talking about. Again, I'm not going to get into those details today, but we'll continue to work with your staff to gather the data to make sure that it comes back to you where you can then see what savings could be in the long term. On the water side, again, there are benefits where components could be added to help mix your water, measure your water, monitor your water. Again, these are engineering functions that we're going to continue to work with Nick and the operators. And so there's a dual role here. But one of the other benefits that it provides is by covering up the water, it helps on the evaporation side. Now, what are the other challenges out there besides the drive to be green, the drive for predictivity of your power rates over the next 25 years, and that is water conservation. And in the case of one city where we've already signed a contract, it's been estimated that there would be roughly 13 acre-feet of water conserved. Now, the price of that water isn't significant, but the idea that you've conserved is. And each year, again, cities in California are being challenged by doing what you can to conserve water. And so we believe that this is one of the other benefits. And again, working with your engineering staff and your management, we're going to make those determinations and hopefully come back to you at your next council meeting. So, floating solar on water, shifting to follow the sun, maximizing the intake, maximizing the ultimate benefit. Again, I had said that this is not new, just new to us. There are various technologies or various spots around the world where this has been provided. Again, as we deal with climate change, drought issues, the issues dealing with the water treatment, the challenges that I think your staff currently is looking into today, we believe that at the end of the day we will save you some dollars in what may be looked upon as an expenditure, with, again, upfront costs being covered by the developer here and a contract paid over a long period of time by the city. So what other benefits besides your facilities, your operation costs of power at your water or your wastewater plants. Excess power could be used for other municipal connections through the virtual net metering if allowed by the IID, or for your schools, or for your low-income households. What we would like to suggest tonight is that you would allow your staff to continue to work with us, because there's an opportunity at the IID to bid into this virtual net metering program that could provide these other benefits. I'm not here to tell you that that's going to happen or we're going to get it granted, but we want to make those applications. We want to do the best we can to see if we can provide those additional benefits. Through the virtual net metering, if your ponds allowed us to generate more than what you need at your water or wastewater plant, that power could be provided to the benefit of others. And we want to be able to get in our application. It's due very early January, and we want to continue to work with you to be able to do that. Without telling you a lot of engineering detail, that's really the overview of what we're talking about. And we appreciate the opportunity to at least give this introductory presentation to you. And hopefully you'll allow us to continue to work with staff so that we can come back and make a final presentation as soon as you're ready in early January. Any questions you might have?
Any questions for Mr. DuBose?
Yeah, I have about two things. One, I'd like to have the PowerPoint in the printed. The PowerPoint, I'd like to have a copy of the PowerPoint.
Okay.
And the other one is, since the water, of course, we don't have much, we don't have like a wave, but for example, we have earthquake, might be creating some big wave. Do they have some kind of the guarantee or some safety from the wave?
Sure, yeah. No, these are tethered because, again, they've got to be able to turn. They've got to be able to move. Mm-hmm. They've got to be able to go, if there's an earthquake and there's some sloshing around, and so there'll be room. They are put together in parts. They could be taken apart in parts so that if you have to go in and do maintenance, they could either be lifted up in pieces or lifted up in whole. Or we've also come up with a design to where, because they're floating on top, with the release of that water, they would only come down so far and then stop to allow room underneath. And again, no two applications are exactly alike. We're going to try to size this that fits your system to its maximum benefit. But understand what you're saying, and we've taken provisions to be able to protect against that.
Okay, now, so what kind of a fund are we gonna have? To city cost of a city, or do they gonna have some kind of a federal grant?
So we are just like all of the other renewable companies. We have the ability to build these and install these and provide you this service and get the benefit of some tax credits that won't last forever. What we're telling you is that this is not something we're going to ask you to pay for up front. We will, and you will simply pay for it over a period of time as a part of your power bill that we believe will save you money.
Okay, so we're gonna have more details in case of it, if we decide to go with you guys. More details coming in. How
That's
much
correct,
cost
yeah.
us? How much savings?
Yeah, we will continue to work with your staff and then get them that complete package, and hopefully get their comfort level so that if they're ready, then they can bring it back to you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. DuBose.
Okay? Thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully next month.
Okay. Next year.
Next year.
Okay, thank you. Now we have the presentation of trophies to the Talent Extravaganza winners, and that would be Sergeant Victor Legaspi.
Good evening, council members, city manager, attorney. How are you? First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor John Moreno for assisting us as being another year of his emceeing for us. He's been doing it for the past 3 years. I thank you for that, sir.
You got it.
And a little bit on the Kids of Badges, also, well, correlating with the talent show. Kids of Badges has been around for about 11 years. It started by Chief Mario Sanchez, and it's been going on strong. And the last 3 years, we implemented a program called the Talent Show. bringing in some funds. Instead of going out there asking for money, we did a talent show, and we brought in some acts, and people actually paid to come in and see our acts, and that's how the talent show happened. Going back to Kids and Badges, we have another year of Kids and Badges. This will be our 12th year here at, we're going to start off at McDonald's on December the 18th. We're going to take underprivileged kids to Walmart where they get to purchase $100 worth of gifts. So we're going to have about 40 kids going from McDonald's free breakfast. They're going to meet Santa being brought in by a helicopter at the Walmart parking lot. And then from there, they're going to go in there and do a shopping spree. Now, I couldn't do this without our special committee. We have, and if the committee members are here, can you please stand up and come up here for me, please? Sandra, Lizeth, Hildy, and whoever. Just stand. You guys want to stand? Okay. I'd like to give out a special thanks to Hildy Carrillo, Sandra Toller, and my wife. It's been a special, interesting year, 2014, as you all know, at the Calexico Police Department. And, when things were going a little low, Sandra lifted me up, and so did my wife and Hildy. So they were always there for us. They were always there when the chips are down, and we kept going forward. So, and I thank you, Sandra, Lizeth, and Hildy Carrillo for being there for me, for the program. Now, I'd like to give out with the assistance of the Chief of Police, we would like to give out the trophies to our first, second, and third place winner. And they are, if they can stand up, Rendon Rhythm. They did an outstanding tap dancing performance. Second place was Raymond Sanchez. I want you all to picture that face. He is going to be a star. He is the next Jim Carrey. I'm not kidding. Google search or go on YouTube, type in Calexico's Talent Extravaganza, and watch that man. I'm not kidding. And third place, another Mariah Carey singer, Andrea Rios. She has an outstanding voice. You also got to take a picture with her, do a selfie with her. So I'm going to have the chief and I present the 3 awards, and I'm going to present the special plaque to the police department, to the chief of police, which is a plaque that will have all the names that, and hopefully we can do this for the next 100 years, a talent show every year.
It's a perennial plaque. A perennial
A
plaque.
perennial plaque.
Yeah, just
Google search that, babe. I don't know what that is. Okay, it's one of those. So, Chief and Hildy, Lizeth, and Sandra, would you guys please stand up and so we can present these plaques? Thank you. Sandra doesn't like coming up here. Chief, the plaque, the first. I don't know if you want to start with third, second, and first. The third place will be Rendon. No, Roman Sanchez will be third place. Roman Sanchez, would you please stand up? Photos? Taking pictures. Who's taking pictures, Lizette? Lieutenant Gerardo? Lieutenant Gerardo. Take a picture with me. Somebody with an iPhone so I can, a phone so I can get it. Here comes another photo right here. Okay. You're not going to do it with your 6-phone iPhone Plus? Second place is Andrea Rios. Could you please stand up? And the best of the best, Rendon Rhythm, first place. Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to take a picture here, too. First of all, before I give out the plaque, I want to thank the council. December the 18th, 8:30 in the morning at McDonald's, 8:30 sharp in the morning. We need volunteers, and we need your presence. 8:30, at 9:30, at 9:45, Santa Claus lands at Walmart, and we need you there because we're going to give out four more plaques to our sponsors.
That's this Thursday.
This Thursday.
Do you still need sponsors?
No, we still need sponsors.
So-
We won't say no to sponsors. We won't say no to sponsors.
8:30 at the McDonald's?
At McDonald's, 8:30 in the morning.
We're not meeting at Walmart. We're meeting
And at Walmart, we're going to meet there at 9:30 in the morning.
at 9:30.
Okay? Helicopter lands at 9:45 at Santa Claus. Okay? We're also inviting you all to be there at those times at the McDonald's at Walmart.
Sergeant, yes,
Yes, sir.
just make sure you mention that REACH is going to be on the slate.
Reach, our medevac has always been, they're going to see the flag that day, and they're going to be bringing in Santa Claus for all you kids out there.
That's still.
Here's a flag for the police department. Natalie goes on first place on the 2012, 2013, the Star Experiment, 2014, Rhythm. So we're all going to have you in a special art at the police department. This is presented to the chief of police.
Sergeant Legaspi, are you done? Mayor Moreno, may I speak?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
We have something for we have something for someone. A certificate of recognition. This certificate is awarded to Sergeant Victor Legaspi in recognition of your valuable contributions to the success of the Calexico Talent Extravaganza, your tireless efforts, your continued commitment, and never-ending enthusiasm has kept this event in the spotlight. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Calexico Chamber of Commerce, I, the Chief Executive Officer, sign this certificate, and we'd like to congratulate you and award you. Without you and your enthusiasm and your big heart, it wouldn't have happened this year because things were tough. And so we really appreciate everything you did. Of course, your wife is 200% behind you, and of course Sandra Towler is behind you. You got the mayor to sing Mustang Sally when we were killing time because the judges couldn't decide. It was a wonderful, wonderful event, and I'm sorry that more of the community wasn't there, but those that were so lucky. Ramon or Raymond, who's from Brawley, he's wonderful, and the Rendon Rhythms, we're going to start a tap dancing class through recreation because we're all excited. If they can do it, we certainly can too. And of course, the Mariah Carey voice over there, which she acted like it was nothing to get up there and sing. It was a wonderful show, and we have this certificate because we really appreciate you, Victor, and we got this really cool flashlight because you're in the spotlight. So come up here and get your certificate. There you go, Victor.
Didn't sound right.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Sergeant. Here's your flashlight.
Congratulations. Thank you, Victor. Thank you very much, Hildy, and thank you very much, Sergeant Gillespie. Number 5 is the presentation of the key to the city of Calexico, to the Calexico High School, Calexico Lady Bulldog volleyball team, CIF San Diego section champions for 2014. Normally, I don't wear my Letterman jacket to these meetings. And mind you, this is not my high school one, because that one doesn't fit me anymore. So I went to Driscoll's and I got one that fit me. But this is a remarkable year for a remarkable team that has made history. And I have been involved in Calexico High School athletics for over 30 years, not only as a coach, as an athletic director, as a high school administrator, and my passion as voice of the Bulldogs every Friday night from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez. I've watched the program grow. And as athletic director, we always had a big interest in the volleyball team. As a coach, you have 3 goals for your team. And the first goal is to beat your rival and get the respect that you deserve. The second goal is to win league, and everybody in the league respects you. The third goal, which many teams did not get to, is to win the CIF championship. In my lifetime, there was one other team. My senior year, the boys soccer team won the Southern Section CIF championship title. And it's been a long, I don't know how many years since 1978, 34, 35, whatever, maybe like 37. But this year, this group of young ladies who not only were talented athletes, but were scholars in the classroom, made us all feel proud. Made us all feel proud to wear the garnet and the white on any day of the week. It didn't have to be a Tuesday or a Thursday when they had their matches, or a Friday for the football games. It's every day. And we walk a little taller. We hold our heads a little higher because of this group of young ladies and their coaches and their athletic director and the principal and the superintendent of Calexico Unified School District. So we are proud, and I am very proud and passionate about the accomplishments. They went on to play regionals against La Reina High School out in, I believe it was Thousand Oaks in Ventura County, which was an all-Catholic girls' school club. You can relate to that, Hildy. But they had an outstanding team, and I'm sure they went on further. But no other team in the history of Calexico High School has gone this far, and they should be recognized. And tonight, we're going to recognize you with the key to the city. So congratulations, ladies, and let me go up here and pass out these certificates.
Sofía Martínez. Pearl Escobar.
Star is not here? Breakfast, okay. Could you take this for her?
Paola Wong. Alexis Flores. Anissa Ramirez. Crescinda Frere. Chelsea Cabrera. Leni Luján. Luana Gutierrez. María Lizárraga. Claudia García. Melanie Ibarra. Julissa Serrano. Natalia Pacheco. Ivana Ibarra, manager. Samantha Dueñas, manager. Claudia Maeda. Escobar, coach.
She's at practice. Pearl.
Cynthia Levas, coach. Ivana Franco, coach.
Here, first of all, is a key to the city of Calexico, presented to the Calexico High School Lady Bulldog volleyball team, CIF San Diego State champions. I love the way that sounds. 2014. And this is also a little plaque, so it can hang in the halls of Calexico High School. For head coach, Claudia Maeda, assistant coach, Evelyn Escobar, athletic director, Joseph Trabuco, principal, Secretary Cascada, and superintendent, Maria Luis, and your honorable mayor, John Moreno.
Hello? Oh, there you go. Okay, so thank you so much for recognizing all of us today. We really do appreciate it. I know the girls are really, really grateful and honored to be up here and representing the city of Calexico and being a Calexico Bulldog. So thank you so much, Mayor Moreno, and City Councilman and City Councilwoman. Thank you so much.
And we have a reception in the lobby. We've got Subway sandwiches and pizza and hot wings for you guys. Compliments of the city of Calexico. So please join us in the lobby now. Okay, welcome back, and hope everybody had their fill. We'd like to go now to the Calexico Redevelopment Agency, successor agency of the City of Calexico regular session consent agenda. which is item number 6, a resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency of the City of Calexico, California, adopting a conflict of interest code and adopting through incorporation by reference the standard conflict of interest provisions of 2 California Code of Regulations, section 18730. Is there a motion to approve? That's the only consent on the redevelopment agency, successor agency. Moved by Ms. Hurtado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Real. Please vote. And motion carries unanimously. Now we come to the regular session agenda continued. Public comments and public appearances. Note, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and address or place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. If the item you wish to comment on is a closed session or consent item, please comment now. The City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council. Before we start the public comments, I'd like to call up Mr. Ralph Morales, who is going to give us an update on some residences in the City of Calexico that are either burned or abandoned, or both. Whoa. I had called Ms. Nava and Mr. Morales and Mr. Servin regarding some of these nuisances around the city, and this is the report that he will give us.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to share with the council what the responsibility of the building and code enforcement are when it comes down to situations like this, when there's a fire. Basically, when there is a fire, we will get a call to respond to the fire. During these times, whether it's during the day, during the night, whether during working hours or after working hours, then basically we get this call. And so you could almost say that we are on call 24/7. We have responded to fires 8 o'clock in the morning. We have responded to fires even at 1 o'clock in the morning. So we're there to assist the fire department as much as we can. Once the fire has been contained, then with the assistance of the firefighters, then the building staff will go in the building to assist the damage along with the fire department. And the reason for this is to determine whether the electrical or gas meter has to be removed. Also evaluate what the condition of the structure is, whether it has to be closed down, whether the owners can even stay in the building or need to be evacuated. In many instances, the building will be taped off where nobody will be allowed to go inside. It also gives the opportunity to the building staff to assess what the repairs have to be in order to bring the house back to become structurally safe or structurally sound, so that the building department can work with the contractors working on the building. Within the last year, there's been approximately more or less about 12 fires in the city of Calexico. As a matter of fact, there were 2 within the last 5 days, one on Friday night and then one, I think, was on Sunday evening. So there's quite a bit of activity going on. The fires, some of the cause of the fires have to do with electrical, either the main service panel or faulty wiring. A lot of them have to do with people failing to clean or take the lint off from the clothes dryer or even from the restroom exhaust fan. The last one that we had, I think that was on Thursday night, that was the case. The exhaust fan was full of lint. They turn the light on, it sparks, and it shorts out the wire, and then you have a fire right there. Some of it, we had one on Sunday night, which had to do with a candle that was left unattended, and so it created a fire. Fortunately, the fire department has been very good in responding and being able to contain the fire very quickly. So I have to commend the fire department to be diligent on this, and they've been very helpful in assisting the building and code enforcement staff when we have to go in there and do the reviews. In my report, what had been asked, as you can see, I passed some of the pictures of some of the fire damages that there is. I do apologize that there is one of the picture I couldn't download, so it's not in your packet there. But there are 2 properties there on 4th Street, on the 900 block and 800 block, that have fire damage. The one on the 900 block, the owners have full permits. Unfortunately, they don't have insurance, so they have to do the work out of their own pocket. The one on the 800 block does have insurance. That was arson. So the insurance company is currently investigating that fire. Building staff has been working with the insurance company, trying to give them all the information that they're requiring. So hopefully we can help them expedite the investigation that they're doing and provide the funds required so that at least that they can do is clean that property. The other one on Rockwood, that's the one that we've been working on the longest, and that was a property where the owners abandoned the property as well as the mortgage company. After a long, I'm going to say fight with the mortgage company, they finally stepped away and wanted no responsibility on that property. We finally got the approval to move forward and get somebody to do the demolition. Unfortunately, what happened is that every time you do a demolition, you have to go in the property and do an asbestos report. And they did find asbestos on the property. So because of the condition of the property, the cost has gone up. We were hoping that it would take about $20,000 to do the demolition. It's gone from 20 to over 30,000. So
This is on the Rockwood property?
That's on the Rockwood property, yeah.
Which is the one that was arson, right?
Yes, that was also arson. That's correct. And so we're trying to get another bid. Hopefully we can get a lower bid. If not, then we're going to have to work with the housing department and city manager. Hopefully we can get some funds to do the actual demolition. And that's going to be by a certified company that does asbestos. It can't be just any ordinary contractor.
And I look at most of these houses with the siding and not the stucco.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably around early 50s, late 40s.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
they probably used asbestos
Yeah.
in a lot of those construction with the exception of the one on Canal Street, that looks like probably the 80s.
Yeah, that one, I mean, has just been abandoned. On that property there, we did, with code enforcement at that time, about a year ago, we went in there. We contacted the owner to secure the property, which they did. They went ahead and put plywood on the windows. They secured the doors so nobody could get in, and they did a cleanup. Unfortunately, as time goes on and you don't water the trees, the branches dry up, and with the storms that we had, then they broke, and so we're currently getting a hold of them to come in and do the cleanup.
One of the neighbors had told me that the owners were deceased. Is that not the case?
The original owner is deceased. There's another individual on the property.
The deceased, the person actually died in the property.
Yeah.
I was told, I guess real estate companies have to disclose that to any potential buyers, so that was also, an issue with getting somebody to want to buy it.
Yeah, that's a story that I heard too, that nobody really wants to buy it because of the situation. But we are working with them for them to get that property.
Mr. Morales, there's another house on Washington Street just a few blocks over. Any update on that one?
Yes, that's going through, and that's the same situation as the one on Canal. The original owner passed on. I think it's a large family. They didn't leave a will, so it's going through probate. They do have an attorney. They got one of the family members to be. They have a power of attorney to be able to work with the city and do work on the property. I did hear from the attorney. As a matter of fact, I heard from them yesterday, where they told me that the person that has a power of attorney will be coming down the first of the year to pull a demolition permit to clean that property. So we're hoping that they follow through on it.
Do any of these properties have liens on them by the city or tax liens?
If we have no other, once we have done all our due diligence, the city can go in there and clean the property and put a lien on the property. And then whenever the property is sold, then we can collect on
as of now, no liens. As of now, no liens on these properties.
Right now, the only one that would end up having a lien is the one on Rockwood.
Okay.
The city has
because that's the one.
The city placed the lien?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
The city placed the lien?
The city will be setting a lien on it, on the property. Yes, because the city will be doing the cleanup on it. So the city has a right to put a lien on the property.
I was under the understanding that housing sometimes purchases, if they have the way to rebuild homes like this, housing does programs like that. Is that something that's possible to do with these properties?
Yeah, we've been working very closely with the housing department. There are state funds where they can utilize that to purchase the property. They can reconstruct or construct a new housing, which in turn can be offered to low-income families. So that is a possibility.
May I just ask something? I remember when I first started out about 4 years ago, there was quite a bit of foreclosures occurring in the city of Calexico, just as anywhere else. And I remember that there was some state law that allowed for cities to put some teeth into cleaning up foreclosed properties that were abandoned like that. And I remember I asked that question back then, and we weren't very familiar that there is actually state law that allows us to enforce and clean up what we're seeing and the different eyesores that are out there. Are we looking at using those provisions?
We've been looking.
Because all of these are foreclosures in a way, aren't they? After. And the other question also, Mr. Morales, is...
We have been looking into that. We've been fortunate in Calexico that the majority of the foreclosures have turned around and sold. There's a big demand in Calexico for houses. So we haven't had the problem that other cities have had. We've contacted the bank and we asked them to go ahead and do the upkeep. And for the most part, they have been working with the city in doing that. But because of the demand being so high, we really haven't had that major problem. Canal Street is unique because of the situation that happened there. But for the most part, the banks and mortgage companies are very cooperative.
Okay. The last question would be, there's that, the burned location on the old Western Auto.
Second and Heber.
Tell us about that one.
Yes, we are working with that. We've contacted the owners. I know they are working with the insurance company. They're trying to work out as to what they'll be getting to do the renovation on their property. But we are getting ready to send them a letter to let them know that they have to start doing something.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah. So we are working with them as well as we are working with Melrose. I know Melrose has been going on for a long time. Unfortunately, what happened with Melrose, because it's an old building and because it has a basement, they miscalculated the footing under the basement. So when they when they went in there to set the columns, then they had to go back and redesign that column. A week ago, when I spoke with the representative of Melrose, they told me that they had already recalculated it and that they're planning to get started the first of the year. So again, I'm hoping that they follow through with that.
Mr. Morales, in the interest of time, maybe in the next several weeks, maybe next month, you can provide us a short narrative on some of the progress that is either being made or not being made on some of these residences and places around the city. But before we go on to public comments, I'd like to entertain maybe Mr. Kim or Mr. Castro may have a question before we go on.
Yeah, I have some question. One of the property on the 4th Street, which almost has an auto shop. They had some auto mechanic shops there.
They had a mechanical shop there,
Which
yes.
one is 821 or 940?
On the 800 block.
800,
What happened on that one, we did send him a letter, and he went ahead and closed the shop on that. It was an illegal mechanical shop that they had there, and they had taken care of that.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Castro, any questions?
Yes, I have a question. There is on the international airport here in Calexico, we have in really bad shape a hangar. I don't know if you noticed that, but I already spoke with the city manager about that. It's been 2 months, and still that hangar need the city of Calexico to demolish because there is really, really in bad shape, and that's something against the city of Calexico. I want to know the update on that.
Okay. I did get direction from the city manager to get a proposal on that. The contractor that was going to do the demolition on Rockwood also had the contract to do the demolition at the airport. Now with the asbestos that was found, then we're going to go ahead and go with the company that does the asbestos, and so we can go ahead and allow this contractor to move forward on the airport.
Yes, because that is responsibility for the city.
Yes.
Right? Okay. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Morales, and thank you, Mr. Castro. Moving on to the first. Who's this? Oh, no, we're not going to talk to Mr. You can do it under public comments. Yeah. Ms. Carrillo, you're here for public comments? Oh, that was already here. Thank you. Diana Daniels, remember you, let me just read this. You have 3 minutes. I believe I already read that. So either one, if you like.
Hello. I just wanted to address an issue that I had. I donated a washer and a dryer to the Calexico Animal Shelter, and this was probably sometime in August. So I personally gave my own stuff to the shelter. All I ask is for it to be hooked up. Simple. I give you a washer and dryer. I expect it to get hooked up because we, the volunteers who go there on the weekends, we actually wash things ourselves. Now, because before there was never a washer and dryer, we literally wash things by hand in cold freezing water. So I give up my washer and dryer so it can get hooked up so it can wash blankets and towels. It's been since August. You mean to tell me you can't hook up a washer and a dryer? That's ridiculous. I can't even believe that. So instead, I have to go every week, spend my own money at the laundromat, wash the blankets and the towels. Because the washer and dryer that I gave apparently cannot get hooked up since August. It's December. I'm disgusted by that. Another thing that I want to say is I want to thank John Moreno. He's the only person on the city council who has ever told me, Diana, I'm going to come down there and I'm going to make a meeting down there. I'm going to look at it. None of you have ever did that. I've been coming here for 3-4 years now. Nobody has ever done that. I've been coming here all the time, and all I ever hear from you guys is, you know what, I'm so proud of you, you're doing a great job, everything, but I've never had you guys come down there and actually look at it. How many of you even know where it's located? Please tell me that. You guys are sitting on the board. You guys are supposed to listen to us, You guys always preach about how you want to help the city of Calexico. You want to volunteer. You want to do these great things. Well, here I am volunteering. I'm doing great things, but I'm not getting feedback from you guys. I'm not getting any help. I love how you guys want to help out the kids in badges, Christmas extravaganza, your talent show. If we had a quarter of that at the shelter, it would be unstoppable. Unstoppable. For years, I've been getting, people coming over. I had over 100 names on that list of people to volunteer. Over 100 names. Now, weekly, we have 2 or 3 coming. Obviously, some stuff happened because due to the old chief of Calexico who said some things and people didn't like it. And I understand that people don't want to come. But at the same time, though, I'm here. I'm still here after 3 or 4 years. I would just love your guys' opinion and your guys' support. If you guys can give me a quarter of that to what you give to kids in badges, it would be phenomenal. It really would be. So you know what? I dare you to do something positive for the shelter. I dare you to tell me again, hey, let's meet at the meeting over there. Let's do all these great things and actually follow through with it. I dare you to, because please, if I'm wrong at this time, then I'll come back here and I'll say I'm wrong. But all I want is a hookup of the washer and dryer that I provided to the city of Calexico. I could have sold that for a couple $100, but no, I gave it away. So if I can get that fixed, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels.
Quick question. When are your meetings at the shelter?
Well, actually, I got a hold of John Moreno. I said, listen, I want to get together with you. He said, you bet. Let's get together. He's the only person that's ever done that to me.
I would like to tour the facility.
You can contact us. We have a Facebook page. We have 1,600 followers right now on Facebook page. Okay. I answer a lot of the questions on there and a few other volunteers. We're under the Calexico border pause. If you write me a private message, I will definitely get together with you. I'll give you my number. I'll give you my email address. I just want to make a change.
Does the city have your information?
Everybody here has my information. Okay. You can ask Lieutenant Gerardo, you can ask the chief, you can ask Gabriela. Everyone here has my information, so.
Mr. Real and Ms. Diana, just to remind everyone, we broke down our council to a subcommittee, which was Mr. Moreno and Mr. Hodge. So I was just mentioning to him that maybe we need to reestablish that and continue to work with you.
You know what, ma'am, I would love that, but you know what, unfortunately, whenever we got together, it was always like, you know what, I can't make it because I have this, I can't make it because of that. So really, it ended up being like one of those things where we would meet once a month, and then it would happen once every 3 months, once every 6 months. Now, it's non-existent. So you know what, I feel like it sounds good, and it's the right thing to do, but in reality, nothing gets resolved. So really, I mean, if you're going to waste my time, then I don't even want to go through it. You know what I mean? It's like I want things to get done, so if you're on board with me, I'm on board with you. I mean, I've been coming 3-4 years now, and I'm preaching about the same thing every single time I come here. It's never anything different. It's never, I'm not asking to build me a castle. I'm just asking so that this animal shelter would be in a better place, would be in a better thing, I just want a couple of beds, I want a couple of heaters, and I just want a washer and dryer. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a Taj Mahal, I promise. That's all I want.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Daniels.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll get on it immediately.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
Who's the director city manager, who is in charge of this? Which of the directors are in charge of this facility? Pound Dog? Yeah?
The police department operates the animal shelter, and we'll be getting with them. We have a new chief, and we'll be following through on issues relating to the shelter.
You heard that? Diane?
It's great, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but I keep hearing that over and over again, and I just want to see some kind of productive result. And I understand that you're not the oldest, or you're not the other person who was here before city manager, so I'm not gonna even, say that. But if you're gonna say that you're gonna support us, then I'd love to see that, and I hope that you do.
I think we will. We're under new management at the police department, and I think you'll see a change. And so we look forward to working with you and meeting with you. We want to make sure we have an animal shelter that meets the highest standards in terms of care, and we will move in partnership with you forward and looking at what we can do to make it better.
And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
you for your
Ms.
time.
Daniels. Terry Nava, Code Enforcement, was this already part of the presentation? This was 12-2. These are old. Who's giving me these old ones, sir? 12-2.
Come say hi.
Eddie Guzman? No. Sorry, these are no good. Well, I mean, they're out there, pull dated.
Makes the meeting shorter.
Yeah, like day old bread. Okay, we have Bill Hodge. Not like day old bread, but like Bill Hodge.
Bill Hodge, 1268 Opal Court. Honorable Mayor, Honorable Council, it's good to see all of you. Mr. City Manager, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak now, because if I waited, it'd be 10:30 and I have finals tomorrow, John. So I want to thank you very much for putting on the agenda number 20, City of Council adding Chapter 35 Senior Citizens Commission. I want to thank you, and I really want for you to think seriously about this. As I was campaigning, my eyes were really open as to the neglect and needs of the senior citizens. We sort of lost touch with them, Mr. Mayor, and this commission, I know commission in nature is an advisory committee, but I want you to take in consideration that if I had any part of it, it would be more. It would be more of an outreach. I mean, one of the owners, because it was raining, put sandbags in front of the doors of the senior citizens at the complex. And the 85-year-old lady was expected to pick it up and stop the water from coming in. There are a lot of issues, I know, with the owner, but this commission could do outreach, it could network, it could dialogue, and we wouldn't sit and wait for the senior citizens to come. We would be a very proactive commission going out into the community and seeing what the seniors need. They need a lot, Mr. Mayor. So I ask you, council members, to seriously think about this, and I'd be very happy to be involved in any way I can, because they really, really are being neglected right now. It's dirty in the De Anza Hotel. It's depressing. Councilman Kim has brought up that there are some complexes that they need these water containers, machines, so that they don't have to go to the store. There are a lot of issues that need to be done. One of the biggest one is security, a lack of security at these complexes. So if I get on, I'm going to really advocate, network, and see what we can do with your help. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hodge.
Thank you for allowing me to do that.
Okay.
See you guys.
Thanks, see you.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes, you too. City Council comments and reports of meetings attended. Again, these will be for 3 minutes. And unless anyone has a burning desire to start, I'll start to my right with Mayor Pro Tem Kim.
First of all, I was mentioning last time about the job creating opportunity. The first company in Korea, they had, I believe they had the MOU signed by last Wednesday. So they are start discussion of the conditions to be here. So probably they might come this year. If not, I might gonna visit them in January to visit Korea. And the other one is little political speech. We've been having some kind of struggle last council, and this council, it looks like Mr. Mandirial, he's the one who's swing vote, and I hopefully he's making right decision to help us help the city, not staying at the GOMPA system. We should focusing on the city's business and communities benefit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kim. Anybody else?
Well, I just want to say that as a new council member, we had the opportunity to tour the departments in the city. It was an awesome, cruise around all the departments and got to meet a lot of people, all the people that really work hard for the city of Calexico, and that was a very eye-opening experience. Congratulations again to the CIF champions that are gone now. Want to say thank you to Hildy, the Border Bandits, for a great Christmas parade. Everything went really smooth, and it was a lot shorter this year than last year. And everybody, I think, that was walking it definitely. Well, Mr. Bostic walked it, but you didn't walk it last year, but it was a lot longer last year. You would have had used some tennis shoes there. I want to say, Los Amigos had their yearly dance also. I didn't get a chance to attend it, but I heard it was very well attended. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Real. Mr. Castro or Ms. Hurtado?
I know that today on our agenda, there would be the formal decision to appoint me for the ICTC. And tomorrow will be my first official meeting for that. We're looking at a special meeting tomorrow for some special funding to get the different programs going. So after today, I'm going to start to represent the City of Calexico with the ICTC. Also really enjoyed this parade. It was great. The winning parade float was a mini creation of Calexico. And actually, it brought me to tears. It was so cute. And it was really great to see all the kids out there dressed up as firemen and policemen and nurses, and it was just really cute. I really enjoyed this time. Good job, Hildy, to everyone that was involved with that. Every year it keeps getting nicer. The other thing I'd like to kind of promote a little is some friends that I have out in Mexicali. There's a promotion right now with the McDonald's restaurant on Imperial Avenue. They're giving away free tickets to anyone who would like to go and watch the Soles basketball team in Mexicali. It's a pretty fun time. It's absolutely free. And they have a shuttle that picks you up at McDonald's, drops you off at the border, and then another shuttle will take you directly to the game and back. And again, it's absolutely free. Really exciting, and our next game for the Soles would be Saturday, December the 20th. Besides that, I also enjoyed the tour, even though this is my second term as a council member. I learned a lot together with Mr. Real in the tour, and I know we're not done yet. And it gave us an opportunity to ask a lot of in-depth questions and understand a lot more, see how things are done behind the scenes, and get to know our staff and appreciate everything that's going on. One thing that was really neat, I think, in our tours that we got to go up on top of the 2 new tanks, the water tanks that were just reconstructed and rebuilt to replace the 2 water tanks that had been destroyed with the earthquake. So that was really exciting to be up there and see Calexico from way up on top. So we look forward to more tours and understanding much more what's out there as far as our different departments, and hopefully the in-depth view and understanding of how everything works will help us to be better council members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hurtado. Mr. Castro.
Yes, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro. I'd like to thank the staff, specifically Erica La Cuesta and Sally Hernandez, our city manager, Richard Warren, and everyone else who took part, our General Services Department, Nick Finley, and his staff for the tree lighting ceremony that we had, I think it was a week or two ago. It was a great community event outside. It brought a lot of people together, and there was plenty of room for a celebration of this magnitude. A big thanks to the Mighty Bulldog Marching Band from Calexico High School who was there performing, as well as your cousin, Ms. Hurtado, Patty Hurtado, who entertained the guests with her songs, her Christmas music, Christmas carols. And it was good to see Mr. Mandy Real at the 35th Annual Farm Worker Breakfast, which is not, were you there too? Oh, okay, I didn't see you there. Oh, because I was in Atlanta. Oh, you came back, okay. It's no longer a city event, it's blossomed into a county event, and Hildy was there as well as many other members of the city. Big thanks to Loli Torres, who in 1979 had a vision to appreciate our farm workers and give them a breakfast, and just a very good celebration by all means. I didn't make it to the Ariano Herbalife grand opening, which was the following day. I didn't get any sleep that night, and so I was burning the candle at both ends, so I didn't make it to that, but congratulations to the Ariana family. And of course, a big thanks to you, Hildy, and the Chamber of Commerce, the Desert Valley Bandits, the Vigilantes, and city staff for the fun parade that we had just this Saturday. It was a great event. The route is a little more intimate, it's shorter, and we had a great time at celebrating downtown Calexico. The parade is to bring people to downtown so they can shop, so that was the whole premise. And finally, a big thanks to Congress for appropriating $98 million for the expansion of the downtown port of entry, long overdue. The original plan was to have it open by now, but that didn't go our way, so we're just going to try to chug along and move forward with that. And by all means, today is Hanukkah for all you of the Jewish faith, and for you Christians out there, Merry Christmas. And I will defer now to our city manager, if there's anything that you'd like to comment on.
I would just like to thank the veterans and the citizens for the opportunity to participate in the Veterans Day celebration here in the park. And I really want to express my appreciation to them for the Veterans Plaque that has my name on it. I've received a lot of, over the years, different recognitions, but I have to say that having a plaque with my military service on there next to all those veterans is one of the most touching experiences I've had my 32 years of city government, and I want to thank the veterans and the people of Calexico for putting my name next to those people who served our country, and I appreciate that.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, Mr. Warren. Consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the City Council, Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency, or the Calexico Financing Authority, and will be enacted by one motion of the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the City Council. All City Council members have the opportunity for a briefing with the City Manager to discuss any item, especially on this consent calendar. So if anyone would like to pull an item, please mention that now.
Yes, I'd like to put 8 and 9, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, see, now Mr. Kim did not attend the briefing, so in order for us to save time, I would encourage Mr. Kim to attend briefings so he would not prolong these meetings, but I will give you 2 minutes on 8, 9, 10, and 11.
No, not the 10. 8, 9, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, that's almost all of them, you know. Okay, so the ones that you are not selecting are 7 and 10. Is that correct, Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Is there a motion to accept 7 and 10 from the consent calendar? Moved by Ms. Hurtado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Real. Please vote. Motion carries unanimously. We'll start with number 8, Mr. Kim. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico, California, consenting to inclusion of properties within the city's jurisdiction in the California HERO program to finance distributed general renewable energy resources, energy and water efficiency improvements, and electric vehicle charging infrastructure, and approving the amendment to a certain joint powers agreement related thereto. You have a question?
So who's going to be funding?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
So I have a clarification of who's funding and what impact on the budget.
This is a partnership. It's part of a joint powers authority. This happens all over the state of California. Basically, what it allows residents of Calexico to do is fund solar panels on their house or electric charging vehicle charging stations or other renewable energy projects. And instead of financing them through a private company or some other means, that they're allowed to finance it and put it on their property tax and pay it off as part of their property tax bill over a period of years. I've seen this program in many places, been involved in cities that have approved them. It's good for the community, and we recommend approval.
This is a county issue?
It's generally done in conjunction on a county-wide basis. And
does the IID have anything to do with it?
It's a joint powers authority with various private and public entities, and there's a process you go through. But the bottom line is that you can, if you wanted to put solar panels on your house, you could pay for it on your property tax bill over years. That's how it works.
Does this have anything to do with the water solar panels?
No, that's totally separate.
Yeah. Okay.
So who's funding? Who's funding the constructions, the solar panels?
What happens is the Joint Powers Authority contracts with a private agency to fund it, but then the repayment of it is done when you pay your property tax bill.
So it's just like a CFD, kind of like a CFD, because for the solar panel, they're going to be able to in conjunction with the property tax.
It's like a CFD in the sense that you pay for your assessment with your property tax bill, but it's a very different kind of entity. It's a great program. I would encourage residents who want to do solar power or have these things to go ahead and do this.
Is it in lieu of paying your property taxes?
No.
No, it's not. Okay.
It's just added to the bill so that you can pay it over a period of years. A great program. I would encourage the people to participate.
They have not been working in Calexico until now?
Well, in order to do this on a citywide basis, the city council has to approve this resolution.
So this is a specific company that's trying to do this in Calexico, and that's why this is on the
It's part of a joint powers authority that's been created, but as I said, that in order for the people of our community to participate and have it added to their property tax bill, the city council has to take action. This is what you're doing tonight.
Does the county as well have to take action on it?
Every entity that participates has to do it.
Because it's tax money for them as well, right?
Yeah, they have, every city that wants to participate must pass this.
He just asked you a question that maybe you didn't hear what he just said. That means it's taxing income for the entity? Not necessarily. Isn't the entity just a collection? It's collecting?
Yes, the only thing they're doing is collecting it.
Not to pay the entity, but to transfer it on for the payment of the service.
It's for the payment of that renewable energy infrastructure. It's not in lieu of your taxes. It just gets added to your property tax bill. Now, when you sell your house, let's say somebody sells a house and they've done this, that particular obligation goes with the property.
Okay.
In other words, with this, the city council is allowing any properties that are within the jurisdiction of the city of Calexico to participate.
Right.
We are opening up the opportunity for residents to be
Correct.
participants.
Correct.
Not that we are involving ourselves financially whatsoever. We're a
No.
participating agency
Correct.
for all those homes that are within the jurisdiction of the city.
Correct.
To be able to get into these programs.
That's correct.
One last question. What is the name of the actual
The program is called the
program?
HERO program. I'm sorry, I can't remember what HERO
That's
stands
fine.
for,
Okay.
but
It's right here.
All right.
California Hero Program to finance distributed general renewable energy resources.
Okay, is that in case if it's approved tonight, and any citizens who are doing with the solar panel has to go through this program?
Nope.
Or
nope.
this is just one of the options for them?
This is one option a property owner could take it. You could do a PPA with a solar company if you wanted to.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by
Oh,
Ms.
does it have to be Mr. Kim?
No, it doesn't have to be Mr. Kim. But he-
Is he finished with his questions?
Yeah, I'm finished.
I believe so.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hurtado. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Real. Please vote on item 8, consent calendar. And motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 9. Resolution of the City of Calexico approving a 6th supplemental indenture and authorizing and directing certain actions with respect thereto. Mr. Kim, you had a question?
So this is like a local transportation for the, what's called this one regarding with ICTC?
As part of Measure D, bonds were issued. The people that estimated the sales tax collection to repay the bonds overestimated what the sales tax collections would be. This amendment to the bond documents permits the ICTC to withhold payments, Measure D payments to the city in order to cover the shortfall in bond principal and interest payments.
You mean that we're going to give the authority to the ICTC to hold our revenue?
You have to pay back the bonds, and right now what's happening is they are billing the entities for the bond principal and interest payment shortfall. Our last payment, and I have the finance director here, was $159,000 that he had to pay. What this allows the ICTC to do is withhold. If the sales tax is insufficient, it allows them to withhold from all the entities the amount of money that's needed to make those bond principal and interest payments.
So this one is, I believe, at the county-wide, they issued a bond about 2 years ago. That's we pay when they have a shortfall, we have to pay. They're gonna collecting this money.
They're going to withhold. We will not collect as much money.
So we're gonna have a less income because this.
That's correct. It will not affect any projects this year because we have enough in the Measure D reserves to cover our projects this year, but it could affect projects next year.
So because what is causing?
They overestimate when they issued the bonds. They overestimated the amount of sales tax, whoever did it, that would be collected. And so the sales tax are substantially less, and so therefore bond principal and interest payments must be made. So they're going to withhold from all the entities sufficient principal and interest sufficient payments that would have come to you through Measure D in order to make these principal and interest payments.
So sales tax based on the percentage or based on the cents?
It's the sales tax is part of the repayment of the Measure D bonds.
Yes,
I believe Measure D was a quarter-cent sales tax in order to pay it back. Okay, that's in order. The voters passed Measure D. Bonds were then issued. Whoever estimated the sales tax collection overestimated the amount of sales tax that would be collected. Okay, so now ICTC has to withhold from all the entities enough money, okay, to cover the shortfall for bond principal and interest payments.
So it looks like we have to accept it.
The city basically has no choice.
Okay.
Motion to approve item number 9. So moved by Mr. Real. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Hurtado. Please vote. Motion carries 3-2. With Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro in opposition. Item number 11, resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico prescribing the depository of city funds and prescribing the method of drawing warrants and checks of the City of Calexico. Mr. Kim?
First of all, I have to change it.
Did he skip 10? Oh, he already approved
11.
We're on 11. We voted on 9. We approved 10. and we're voting on, we're 11. Mr. Kim, go ahead, you have a question?
So why we have to change the method to do it?
We're changing signatories on the various, the signatories that are authorized by the city to sign documents for the banks and other appropriate financial instruments. You're adding me as a signator, is what you're saying.
The city manager is supposed to be a signature, no?
Yeah.
Would you like to be on the signature page, Mr. Kim?
Well, I'm not the mayor.
Okay. I don't want to be on the page. Any other questions, Mr. Kim?
But is it that is automatically the city manager goes to say signature?
That's how you're structured and how probably most cities do it in California.
Mm-hmm. But why you have to be changed?
We're just adding Mr. Warren in the case Mr. Quinn is not available. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We're required to have two signatures.
All right, so there's one and there's two.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Real. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Hurtado. Please vote. Please respond by saying aye.
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 Opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. Number 12, local appointments, list 2014-15 in compliance with the MADI Act, California Government Code 54970, and authorize staff to advertise vacant positions due to resignations. Mr. Kim, what is your...
Wasn't it 13?
Did you...
You removed 13.
You didn't remove 12?
Yes, 12.
Oh, 12 also?
12 and 13. Yeah, just the only ones you didn't remove are 7 and 10.
Oh.
So what is your question, Mr. Or clarification, Mr. Kim?
So who resigned?
The list is in your binder. The state law requires this to occur every year. We are complying with the MADI Act to list all the different positions and who occupies them and where the vacant positions are for all commissions and committees of the city. It's a statutory requirement. We do this every year.
Is it every year or every election?
Every year.
Every year.
It's an annual requirement. So we're complying with the annual requirement.
Mr. Mayor, if we could move on?
Yes.
Motion
Is there a
to approve.
motion to approve?
Motion.
Moved by Mr. Real. Is there a second?
Second, Mr.
Second by Mr. Hurtado. Please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Number 13, City of Calexico 5-year program projects 14 to 2019 for road projects to be funded by Imperial County Local Transportation Authority, LTA, sales tax revenue bond. Mr. Kim, do you have a question on this one?
So this one we're gonna ask the what's it called the ICTC to get the money from them.
In order to access LTA money, the city must submit road projects that they project will be completed over a 5-year period. And so what you have in your binder is a list of projects. The specific projects that the city council, or that the city is going to do this year, was in the budget document. But we have to have this on file in order to be able to access these funds.
Anything else, Mr. Kim?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim.
Motion
Is
to
there a
approve.
Motion by Mr. Real. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Hurtado. Please vote. Please, oh, there it is. Motion Carries unanimously. Moving on to public hearing, item number 14. Public hearing for California Department of Housing and Community Development Block Grant CDBG Program Income Closeouts. We'll get a staff report, and then we'll open the public hearing, and then we'll bring it back to council for discussion or action. Ms. Nava, you may begin.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Terry Nava, Housing Manager. Whenever CDBG authorizes program income waivers, the state now requires us to come before you once we've completed the project to close out the program income waiver. So before you, we are requesting a public hearing and just a real brief report on what the funds were used for. The De Anza One Senior Apartment Rehab Project was provided with $760,000 to repair damages that were sustained to the De Anza Senior Apartment building after the April 4th earthquake. It required us to evacuate approximately 110 senior residents, so the city utilized some of the program income funds to help the De Anza Hotel Limited Partnership in rehabbing the De Anza One property. That project was completed, and we had the seniors back, and they are now at the De Anza. So that project was completed, and we're going to close out the project. I continue to use the project, sorry. And the second project that we used was the Emergency Rental Subsidy Program, to which we expended approximately $200,000. And that was to house the 110 seniors that were evacuated from the De Anza Hotel, as well as approximately 100 other residents within the city of Calexico. So that is what we did. The funds were expended and utilized for these projects, and now we need to close out through the public hearing process.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Nava. I'll open the public hearing at approximately 8:40 for anyone in favor of this item. Seeing that there is none, anyone who is not in favor of the item, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Don't all jump at once. Seeing that there is none, I'll close the public hearing at 8:41 and bring it back to the council for any questions, discussion, or action.
Yeah, I have. Okay, why this one is a private entity? The De Anza, I think, owned by the company. It's the private company.
Yes.
But why city have to pay for the repair for the $760,000?
Well, the city didn't have to pay. The De Anza Limited Partnership came before the city council in 2010 and requested funds for the rehab. And because we were housing over approximately 110 senior residents, the city council approved the loan to the De Anza Limited Partnership for the rehab of the De Anza Hotel.
So this is a loan, it's not, we're not giving them.
Correct, it's a loan.
So what conditions?
I don't have them with me. I could get that to you, but that was done in 2010.
2010.
But I could get that for you if you'd like.
Please. Now, the other portions, the emergency rental subsidy programs, $200,000. What I understanding that De Anza, the senior apartment, they didn't subsidize the rental because
No.
they denied it. So they didn't help the seniors to get the rental.
We actually housed the seniors in other locations while the De Anza Hotel was being...
The city did,
Yes.
not by them. So city gonna spend, what we spend the $200,000, we taking money away from the income program, project program into the city.
We actually subsidized like the Section 8 voucher program. What we did, they paid us a portion of their rent, and then we paid the other portion, but we did provide emergency housing to the seniors and other members of the community because of the earthquake.
But what I heard from the complaint from the senior citizens, because they didn't have a place to go, So they were looking for the friends to get help. But now you said the cities pay that?
The
So
city
cities
did
are provided?
assist. Yeah, we did assist, and we have the files in our office.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Is there a motion to approve this item?
Motion.
Moved by Mr. Real. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Hurtado. Please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, item number 15, public hearing to adopt resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico assessing the levy for the Calexico Business Improvement District for calendar year 2015. And Ms. Guerrero will give us a presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Rosalind Guerrero, Grants Manager. Back in February 2000, the City Council established the Business Improvement District, but it wasn't until 2009 that the Council actually appointed an advisory committee. After that time, this committee has been very active in holding different activities. One of the items that is required pursuant to the Streets and Highways Code is that an annual report be provided to the City Council on activities for the calendar year, as well as requesting that the levy continue to be collected, and also estimate what revenues we believe that the bid will collect in the next calendar year. At your last council meeting, your council did adopt resolution number 2014-85, which is to intent to levy the bid assessment. This resolution was published in the local newspaper one time a week for 2 weeks as required. The fiscal impact that we estimate will be about 400 businesses at a collection fee of $100 each, which will be $40,000. We also estimate that they'll probably have about $19,000 carryover from this calendar year, giving them approximately a total of $59,000 for the next calendar year that they will be able to use for promotional activities, marketing activities, and as you well know, the bid has several projects that they do during the year. And the whole intent is to promote the downtown area as well as Imperial Avenue. Also in the report, they are recommending that the boundaries stay the same, no change, that the levy stay at $100. And so as one of the requirements is that you hold this public hearing to receive any protest on whether the levy should be collected. If there is no protest, then we are recommending that we continue next year with the levy of $100 for each business.
$100 per year per business.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Guerrero. I'd like to open the public hearing at approximately 8:46 p.m. For anyone in favor of this item, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing that there is no one in favor of this item, I'd like now to bring it to those who are not in favor of this item. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing that there is no one not in favor, I will close the public hearing at approximately 8:47 and bring it back to council for discussion or possible action. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions. I have, my wife has a business entity in the downtown. Do I have a conflict of interest or not?
As long as you have no ownership interest in that business and you haven't disclosed that business on your Form 700, you do not have a conflict of interest.
So, but what I understand in conflict of interest is when they have living same house, family members, they can have a conflict of interest?
I understand, but that is a community property analysis. You do not have a direct conflict of interest as long as the business has not been disclosed on your Form 700.
Okay, thank you.
So let's clarify, I do own a business in downtown within the district, and I've always voted on this.
I understand. There is no direct conflict because this benefits the general business environment.
Okay, got it.
Okay, thank you.
I had a question, Mrs. Guerrero. Is the amount of businesses paying this bid fee, as the business license has it been going up or down in the past for example, 2 or 3 years. I see some businesses closing downtown, and I'm wondering if it has affected the amount of monies the bid gets on a yearly basis.
It's actually been very steady
It
at
has, okay.
$40,000, yes.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve this item?
Motion.
Motion moved by Mr. Real. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Hurtado. Please vote. And motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 16, discussion and potential action items. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico, California, appointing Councilmember Armando Mandy Real as the Calexico City Council liaison and ambassador to the City of Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Any questions?
Well, question or the discussions?
Well, whatever, it's a discussion or question, whatever you want, Mr. Kim.
Okay. Then I have to say, it's kind of like we having the ambassadors to the city of Mexicali and the Baja California. I think we need to focus on our business in the community's benefit. And whatever relations in neighbor city in the out of the country that is falling into the federal government's job, not our jobs. We can have a friendship with the neighboring cities, but they're still limited to cooperating each other's. And also, in case of any communication, that's city mayor's job, not chief council member's job. That's why we have city mayors. And I believe we should not stabilizing this one to let one of the council member go to Mexicali or Baja California with the city's money to having own personal connections. I believe we have to connect, we have to focusing on the city's business. In case if we need to deal with the neighboring city, we have a city mayor supposed to do getting that job.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kim. Anyone else want discussion?
Yes, I'd like to add a little comment.
Sure.
I think that our international relationships is city business because we are strategically located on the border. I think that Armando Real would be perfect for this responsibility. I know that Mexicali is our sister city, and Calexico thrives because of Mexicali. And strengthening the relationships, I know that you as mayor have already had a great relationship with our Mexicali friends, so have I. And I think that the opportunity for Armando to be the point person, being that I believe his schedule may be even more available than you are, Mayor, because I know that many of us definitely want to strengthen the relationship that we have with Mexicali, because those relationships will definitely grow one day by networking, and that's what the ambassador position idea was for, was to allow for more formality in networking and have that point person to establish and make those relationships grow where we've been lacking all these years. So be it you, be it Mr. Armando Real, we definitely need to strengthen those relationships, and I would definitely support this, so I motion for its approval.
There's a motion on the floor for its approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Real. Please vote. Please respond by saying aye if you're in favor.
There we go.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Okay, 4-1 is what I get. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. And Mr. Kim voted no, so the motion carries 4-1 with Mr. Kim in opposition. And now we have the item number 17, the confirmation and reappointment of current appointees or removal of current appointees and declaration of vacancies to existing boards. Or commissions and committees by Councilwoman Hurtado.
I would like to state that I am very, very proud and thankful to the appointees that have worked with me for the last 4 years. And because of their dedication to their responsibilities on these different commissions, I will be asking the majority to stay with me and serve, except one. And that one, I understand I need to state that today. That would be my Economic Development Commissioner. so that that position then can be advertised, or I believe you're advertising already. And then in the next meeting, then I will name my commissioner, right? Everyone, yes, all commissioners identical, except the economic development, which, well, yes.
And I think I need to look at mine as well, so for the next meeting too.
I'll make it easy.
And I know there's some other vacancies that have not been filled, and I think we need to address that possibly at the next meeting as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would like to say, I am in the process of seeing, as I have taken Hodges' position as in city council, the appointments that he has, and do my homework and see if those people are attending the meetings, and if they are, and they are a good commissioner, why remove them if they're doing a good job?
Maybe.
I believe your commissioners should be based on people that want to go to commissions, performance, merit, and not based on because I'm going to get my friends there. And so I definitely want to see, talk to each one of Hodges' commissioners and see if they're willing to stay, if they're doing a good job, keep them there, and the ones that are not attending and not doing what they're supposed to do as commissioners, which I believe are very important positions in the city, and hopefully appoint new commissioners.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, maybe what could help Mr. Real and the rest would be an updated list of the attendance record?
We have that here with the Maddie Act.
Oh, you did?
Attendance.
Okay.
Attendance.
Okay. Thank you. So far, is there a motion for this item to be approved?
Motion to approve.
Moved
Did we
by
approve that?
Mr. Real.
I'm just confirming and reappointing it.
Or is it confirm and reappoint? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the confirm and reappoint. So noted. Item number 18, the appointment of primary representative and one alternate to the Imperial County Transportation Commission Board. And I believe Mr. Hodge was on this one. He did an outstanding job. And the alternate was Ms. Hurtado. So we would need...
So now I graduate?
So now you graduate, and I'd like to see someone else as an alternate at this one.
I would like to appoint Mr. Kim for a primary.
Very good choice. I think Mr. Kim would do an outstanding job at that position as ITTC. Mr. Kim, would you like that?
He said primary, John.
It's an alternative.
Alternate.
So
Yeah, you're
she's-
there. When you can't make it, he will be there.
Okay, I'll accept it.
It's the last Wednesday of the month, I believe, the meeting.
Okay.
And you can go and view as a member of the public. It's open to the public.
So who's going to be that primary?
Ms. Hurtado, and then Mr. Kim is the alternate.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Castro, for that suggestion.
That we do have to vote on.
Do we have to vote on that one?
Yes.
All in favor of moving Ms. Hurtado as the main ICTC and Mr. Kim as the alternate, please vote. And the motion carries unanimously. Item number 19. Mayor appointment of regular member and alternate member of the Calexico Special Financing Authority Board. And I believe Mr. Castro is on this. Is this on this one, right, Mr. Castro, with Mr. Hodge? Is it
Oh,
JPA?
JPA.
JPA. Would you like to continue, Mr. Castro, on
Yes,
this?
I would like to continue on that.
And I'd like to see Mr. Kim on this one as well. I think we are underutilizing his intelligence and his wisdom. So I believe it would be the best interest of the council to appoint Mr. Kim. Would you like to be on the JPA, Mr. Kim?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mr. Kim.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion by Mr. Real. Is there a second?
That's actually, it's mayor appointment.
Oh, it's my appointment. Do we need a vote?
The council should vote to confirm the mayor's appointment.
Okay, please vote on Mr. Castro continuing and Mr. Kim to replace the former member. Thank you very much. And Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro, part of the J... An alternate. Okay, who would like to be an alternate on this one?
I'll go ahead.
Mandy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 members and an alternate? Oh, yeah, new member.
Okay.
Just one.
Okay, thank you, and Mr. Real, and I'm sure we'll vote unanimously for the record on this one with the addition. Thank you. And we have now to introduce and waive first reading of an ordinance, which is item number 20, of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Calexico adding Chapter 35, Senior Citizens Commission, Sections 2.35.010 through 2.35.100 to Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Calexico Municipal Code.
Mayor,
yes, Mr. City Manager, you may begin.
Mayor, members of the City Council, first of all, before I forget, I would just like to make a typographical correction. That should be Chapter 2.35. So wherever it says Chapter 35, it should be 2.35. Just a minor thing that we just need to make sure that we get that on the record so we have this done properly. The City Council asked the staff to prepare an ordinance creating a Senior Citizens Commission. I have written an ordinance for the City Council's consideration, and we recommend that you discuss the ordinance and let us know whatever changes you would like, and then move forward, if appropriate, to introduce and waive the first reading. It provides for a 5-member Senior Citizen Commission. Each council member will appoint one. Should a member of the City Council not appoint somebody within 45 days, the City Council by majority vote will move forward to make that appointment. That will ensure that the Senior Citizen Commission has its full complement of members. An appointee shall be a resident of the city. The appointee shall be at least 50 years old. And the appointee shall neither hold public office or city employment. And, of course, all appointees must comply with the Political Reform Act of 1974. The organizational structure, they will select their own chairman and vice chairman. We will appoint a staff member to work with the commission. And the duties of the commission are outlined in Section 2.35.020. So we're here to listen to the discussion and take your guidance on any appropriate changes you would like to make to the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Warren. Any?
Should be 50 years, over 50 years old.
Right. Now, you don't have to have that as a requirement. If you decide that you don't want to have an age limit, that's fine too. I just put that in because I've seen it in other Senior Citizen Commission ordinances, so I put that in, but there's no other reason. You, of course, can decide whether you want to have that as a requirement.
In other words, if we weren't elected, 3 of us would qualify. I'm not saying which 3.
I won't comment on the age of any member of the City Council.
Except me.
You're very young. I'm sure you're under 50.
And I'm a woman.
I'm sure you're under 30.
Okay. Any questions or comments by council on the Senior Citizen Commission?
Probably just the question, since we were talking so much about commissions and the fact that there were some commissioners that didn't show up and what the processes were to replace those commissioners that weren't showing up. I think it was 3 consecutive meetings. And remember we were talking about that? Is that going to be applying to this one too?
Yes. The way it's structured is if you miss it's not 3 consecutive meetings, it's 3 meetings in
3
a 12
meetings in a year, that's right.
You're automatically removed. There's no action by the City Council. Right. You're gone. One of the suggestions that was made when Councilmember Real during his briefing is that we add the phrase to that and shall not be reappointed. So we'll go ahead and make that correction because that's a good suggestion.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So no, we have to go visit the commissioner ordinance, not this time. If we do right now, so we only can do with the citizens commissions.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I mean, those kind of like shall not reappoint means we're changing the city ordinance. So we have to go back to put in the agenda to make those kind of changes and restrictions.
This is an ordinance, Mr. Kim. So therefore, you can add that phrase to it. Now, I've had some suggestions on the committees and commission ordinance for amendments, which we are in the process of preparing, and hopefully we'll have at the next meeting to address some of the issues that have come up, such as non-attendance and some of the other ones.
Okay. So what we deciding today only for the citizens commissions, or we changing the city ordinance?
It's an ordinance adding a chapter, so you are changing the city ordinance book in the sense you're adding a chapter. It is specifically directed to the Senior Citizen Commission.
Yeah, we right now we're doing only for the senior
Correct.
citizens commissions.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Just a comment regarding this Senior Citizen Commission. After further thinking it through, I was wondering if it's a possibility to get 7 members, five appointed, similar to the housing, 5 appointed by the city council and 2 residents of some type of senior citizen complex. That's the feedback I've gotten from senior citizens, just to make sure they have a vote as well on this commission, seeing how they are the ones that are actually being affected. And so this came about, Mr. ex-council member Hodge got it started, and I want to congratulate him on that. I'm just kind of getting it going, but the idea is that the senior citizen complexes, when I was visiting them during my campaign, have many issues that we as a city have to definitely listen to them. They're a huge majority in our city, and they don't have a voice, and a lot of them can't come to the city council meetings all the time. So I think this commission is definitely very, very important for the city of Calexico and the senior citizen community.
So what you would recommend that we amend the ordinance for 7 members,
yes,
5 of which are appointed by
city council.
the city council, 2 would be appointed by the majority of the city council, but must live in be residents of a senior citizen complex. Is that?
Yes, sir.
How you would like? Okay,
Yes,
we
sir.
can do that.
That sounds good.
May I just ask, because I've heard a few of the concerns on what this commission may be responsible for. Can you kind of give us a few examples of what you may see this senior citizen commission being responsible for? Because also being out there on the campaign trail, yes, you hear all these issues, but many of those issues that we hear about the complexes where they're living, those are management issues. They're not city issues. So when I envision a senior citizen commission, I would imagine that we're wanting to do this for city-related issues, which have to do, for example, someone who may have issues with paying their water bill or some kind of problem, or something having to do with maybe a sidewalk that's in bad shape across the street from their house. Those kinds of things where it's actually related to what the city has to do with the senior citizen community. We have a very active senior citizen community. They have many different social groups and things like that. There's also many different services that the county provides, such as just different programs that are out there for seniors. So as a city, where would our jurisdiction be with entertaining? What have you seen out there? Because when we're going to start this commission, I think we need to start this commission with the right idea and why we're doing that. And it's not so that the city can be responsible to take AAA water to a second floor of a senior citizen housing that doesn't belong to the city. So we need to definitely interpret for anyone that's out there really what this is going to do.
I think its duties are outlined in 2.35020, but you are correct in that it would relate to issues that are of public concern. Landlord-tenant issues, the city would not become involved in because those are private issues.
Right.
But there are a lot of issues where the city could facilitate solutions. A good example would be like a sidewalk that maybe needs to be repaired, or maybe encouraging senior citizens to participate in recreation programs, or working with the senior citizens, say, for example, to help them get help with their taxes or something like that. I mean, things of a
Providing resources.
resources and directing and coordinating with other agencies that provide aging services. They could be facilitators, they could go to the meetings, they could represent the seniors. So I think there'll be plenty to do without getting into private issues.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I agree with Mr. Real and I agree with Mr. Hurtado. But the problem is the senior citizens, they don't have a voice because they are afraid to be kicked out from their apartments because they are so cheaper for them. They're afraid that they don't have a voice. And I believe city level, in a way, the private business, but city level, if we can deal with the city ordinance to obligate landlord to provide the right service to the apartment tenants, probably that's one of the solutions to help the senior citizens to get the right service.
We have to also be careful too that
Yes, I understand that.
that we have to be careful that we make sure that we are within the confines of the law, because we can stray into an area where it could be construed or interpreted as a gift of public funds to a private person or a private entity. So we have to, all I'm saying is, as we look at these issues, we'll work with the city attorney's office, we'll work to make sure that we're within the confines of the law and that we don't stray into areas where there could be liability. So I'm not saying we can't look at things from a health and safety and welfare issue or something, but we would analyze each on a case-by-case basis, and the city would do what it can within the confines of its statutory authority.
Ultimately, the idea is to give a voice to the senior citizen community. I don't think we're venturing into uncharted waters here.
Right.
I'm sure there's another city that has a commission just like this where we can look at their bylaws and figure out a way
absolutely
to make this work.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is a very, very important things. For example, when we get developers to come to our city that want to build senior citizen complexes, one of the things that was really shocking to me was the water issue. It is an issue. An 80-year-old person cannot carry a 5-gallon drum of water from the store to their second-story apartment. It just makes common sense that someone would try and help them in that aspect. Maybe before they build, can we make sure that somehow water could be facilitated to these people? It's kind of a sad thing that they have to go through this, and it hasn't been a problem in the past because in-home health services, which is the people that help the nursing that helps them, used to be able to carry the water for them. And I believe this last year there was a lawsuit or somebody got hurt carrying a 5-gallon.
Filed a workers' comp
case, and all of a sudden nobody can carry water for these people. So they're literally in their homes and don't have water to cook. And the city's water, I'm sure, is okay to cook. But
city water is great.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to, So
Yeah,
hopefully this commission can help out in a lot of issues. So.
But what I believe the landlord is they're receiving the money from the city city loan to the landlord. So we have some role to can do it. We can use our position. And second, we can do but the city ordinance saying the second floor apartment to provide the drinking water system. We can put in the ordinance to obligate the landlord to do it when they have second floors. That one is obligate them to, at least they can provide the vending machines or the filters, second floors for the public filters. So we have to look into that system.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kim. Any other discussion on this item? Moved. Is there a motion? We're just introducing waive the first reading. There is no action on this item? Mr. Castro, you have something to say?
Yes, what Mr. Real mentioned about the 7 members.
Yeah.
Is that the motion that we are going to support?
No, we're giving him suggestions at this time.
Right.
Just
suggestions.
Absolutely. And I interpreted what was said that this amendment was part of the motion, which we will include in the next draft with the second reading.
I'm not sure if the 2 resident appointees on housing are approved by the city council, or are they approved by the other 5 members of the housing? Is it the city council? Okay, so city council.
I would recommend that the
City
council
council
keep control of its appointments.
Okay.
So the recommendation to introduce and waive the first reading of the ordinance and of the Senior Citizens Commission. So we've introduced it. We've waived the, is there any action that needs to take? No?
Take a vote.
Please vote on this item. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Read the title. The waive first reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Calexico adding Chapter 35, Senior Citizens Commission, Sections 2.35.010 through 2.35.100 to Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Calexico Municipal Code.
Mr. Mayor, just a typographical error. It should be Chapter 2.35.
2.35.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Hurtado, second by Mr. Real. Please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 21, discussion and potential action regarding strategic planning and goal-setting scope of work, authorizing to retain HR Dynamics and Performance Management Incorporated as a facilitator and approval for the planning of a city council retreat.
Mayor, members of the City Council, members of the public, know that we have a newly reconstituted City Council. It's important that the council come together and set goals and that we have a strategic plan that the council as a group has approved in order to provide direction for the future development of the city and the projects that we should be moving forward on. And so we propose that we move forward with this process. There is a scope of work. You'll notice in your staff report under the title Scope of Work, it outlines how we would go about through this process. It would ultimately have a city council retreat. We would ultimately have goals and objectives, strategy areas, timelines, and we would have a clear roadmap going forward. So we would recommend that we proceed with this and move forward into the future.
Okay. And revisit the ones we set.
Absolutely. That's
about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years now. Is there a motion for this item?
Well, I have questions.
All right.
What I heard from the JPA, they're going to recommend some of the performance or instructor. Is that the same person, same company, or this one from the city managers? Or we open the RFP?
You mean the one that you had previously? It's not the same people.
It's the same people?
No.
Okay, but who was been the JPA told me they're gonna recommend someone to do it.
I haven't had any. The JPIA has not contacted me. I do believe that these people have the skills and abilities to accomplish what we need to have accomplished. The price is very reasonable for what we need to have done, and so I'm confident that they will be able to develop a set of goals where we have council consensus as well as a strategic plan.
Can you ask the JPA to do it instead of this company?
I don't know what the JPIA is equipped and has the ability to do, but I would recommend.
They told me that they will do it.
Well, they have not contacted me.
What would be the benefit of having JPIA do it instead of this company? What are you looking for?
Well,
What's the
JPIA
difference?
has to cost us less, and then we have a more.
You got a price from
we have a
JPIA?
more, accountable, like more accountable source to doing the facilitating the workshops.
I would be very surprised if JPIA specifically has on staff people that can do this. As I recall, when you had it before, they had Bill Mathis, who was a consultant hired by JPIA. It's not like JPIA did it.
Right.
So either way, you're going to get a facilitator or a consultant. So, but
what if you were to run by JPIA this company and see if they're comfortable, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, if we do through the JPIA, we're gonna have a more accountable, and we're gonna have a more resourceable to do it, and probably even the financial matter, maybe we can get the free service or maybe cheaper.
I know when JPIA did it last time, nothing happened afterwards.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion on this item?
I'll motion.
Motion by Mr. Hurtado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Real. Please vote.
Let's start setting some goals.
Thank you. Motion carries 4-1 with Mr. Kim in opposition. Item number 22, City Council discussion and guidance on future agenda items. I've noticed that we already have a future agenda items within the municipal code that when we would like to put items on the agenda that we contact our city manager. And I looked at other cities in Imperial County. None of them have an item for future agenda items on their agenda when they have city council meetings. I'd rather have our council focus on what the voters want us to focus on, parks, recreation, economic development, public safety, these items, beautification of our community. And if you're going to submit an item, then the item must be approved by the city manager. So we don't waste time and resources throwing all these future agenda items out and having a long list of future agenda items by our staff and get bogged down and do not allow them to move forward. So I'm proposing and I'm entertaining a motion to remove this item, future agenda items, from our regular meeting agenda or special meeting agendas. So I'd like to make that motion to remove future agenda items. And if there are any future agenda items, we follow municipal code. We put it in writing to the city manager. And then when it's time for this item, that we don't even acknowledge it on the agenda.
Well, municipal code is obligate us to through the.
There's a motion on the floor, though.
Thank you. There's a motion on the
Second
floor.
for discussion.
Second. Are you going to just second?
Second for discussion.
Okay. Second for discussion. Go ahead, Mr. Kim. What is your point?
Well, the point is we have a city ordinance say to request and the city future agenda times. So it is open meeting. If council requested, it said it should be there in the agenda.
Well, I'm taking
our city ordinance. Wait. City ordinance there. If the mayor, because it doesn't like it, even the council member, if we don't like it, then we have to go revisit our city ordinance, change the city ordinance first to go first steps. The city ordinance.
I believe that's what we're doing, correct? Changing
City ordinance to first of all, the city ordinance has to obligate us to go through the future agenda time to put an agenda. Or if the written requested, the city mayor agrees it, that has to put it in. But during the open meeting time, the future agenda time, the council has to put it in there. So we have a two-way. One, the open meeting to request it and put it on agenda, or the written requested has to be approved by the city mayor.
Well, I'm making a motion.
And the other one is...
You said two, and you've already mentioned two. What's the third one?
And the public, when the public comment time to request the public can put it on agenda, public request it, and council concur with them, then must be in that agenda.
And they must be in writing.
Yes, that's the city ordinance there.
Okay.
So if we want to change that one, or let's go visit the city ordinance first to change that, to do so.
I think that's what we're
And also, it's not a good idea to give the city manager the full power to put it on agendas, doesn't agrees or not.
Well,
it has to be, city council members' duty and power to put it on the agenda.
Okay.
If we want to limit it among the city council, we have to do among the city council to which way to go.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
I was going to say that I've worked with a number of cities where it was required to submit it to the city manager in advance so that agenda items could be vetted. What's happening to us now is things are being sprung on you, they're being sprung on the staff. We're getting items such as bring forward the wording on the plaque for 2 city council members that a particular council member doesn't think is going to be reelected. I think those kinds of things should be vetted. I think it's appropriate to submit it to us. I assure you we'll get stuff on the agenda, but I think we need to stop gotchas. I think we need to stop springing surprises on people or saying things to try to make either a member of the public look bad, another council member look bad, or a staff member look bad. And so this particular process, I believe, is being abused. And so I think the mayor's suggestion is a good one. Items will be vetted. The other council members will know what is being submitted, but things are going to go forward in an orderly manner with due respect to everybody's opinions and due respect to the goal of working together as opposed to acrimony, as opposed to making people look bad or for political points or something.
Yeah, there has been too much grandstanding at this item toward the end of the meeting, so that's why I felt, and I agree with you, Mr. Warren, that this should be removed and we should submit items in writing that focus on city issues and
Mr.
not
Mayor?
these other things. Go ahead, Ms. Hurtado.
Mr. Mayor, I support you in this decision. In view of the last 4 years, it has been a bit difficult to have this item on. And also, in my term of mayorship, I also made the same research and went out there to ask the different cities. And I also discovered back then that no other cities had this item. They were questioning me as actually, why would we even have it on our agenda? And also the conclusion was, after doing that little research around the valley of who did what, I found out that the different cities, by not having the future agenda items on their agenda, forces the council to work together. And I think that that's probably what we all want, is that we all work together. And so it may end up being a good thing where then we would have to find other ways to be able to bring things to the council and bring things to the agenda for discussion.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Well,
Wait a
again-
minute, you've already spoken? You've already spoken? Anyone else?
I'd just like to add that for future agenda items, we always have one item we can put on the agenda, and this new way of doing it, I hope that we can get more agenda items put on the agenda, and we can work together as a council and begin the forward movement.
Thank you. And Mr. Castro, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes. Mr. Richard Warren, he's been here for 6 months as a city manager, and I'm a city council, and I've been asking him future agenda items, and also I've been sending him emails my questions about the items, and until today I haven't received any information, either personal or by email. And he said we need to work together. I mean, if you guys, my colleagues, are going to give him more authority to get rid of our future agenda items, I mean, that is very bad. That is not transparency. I've been asking him several items, and everybody is witness on that. I know, Mandis, you've been here. This is your second time, but guess what? He's been here for 6 months, and he didn't respond on the future agenda items.
Well,
and that's, let me finish, sir. And that is very, very bad on your side as a city manager. You didn't respond to the item, not even by email, not even personal. And you know that, Mr. Richard. I have approved on the emails, and you never respond on that. That's on my case. I'm a city council, I represent the people, and I deserve to at least send me an email back or call me for a meeting on my issues. And not my issues, it's a city business.
Well,
I'm very disappointed with that.
All I can say is I'm available anytime, and Councilman Castro, you don't come to your council agenda briefings.
Sir,
I'm available.
I have
Hold on, Mr. Castro,
I
let him
have
finish.
those
Mr. Castro,
issues on paper.
Mr. Castro, let him finish. He allowed you to finish. Go ahead and finish, Mr. Warren.
I'm happy to meet with Councilmember Castro anytime on any issue.
That's a
The same
BS.
with Councilmember Kim. Neither one of them, for the last 3 meetings, has come to agenda briefings. And as a result, a lot of the questions that could be answered prior to the meetings have not been answered. Neither one of them has agreed to meet with our new police chief. And so I would encourage our 2 council members to work with the staff, and I'm happy to talk to anybody at any time on any issue. And if you'd like to come in tomorrow, Mr. Castro, please do, and same with Mr. Kim.
Well,
Wait a minute. No. We've all had a chance to speak. You've spoken. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. I'm not going to continue this meeting.
Transparency, Mayor.
as my safety
Excuse
is not
me.
going to get
Excuse me.
Transparency, Mayor.
This meeting is now adjourned.
There is
Sorry,
the mayor again.
I meant to say recessed. Recessed. I meant to say recessed because you guys are getting out of hand. You're not letting me speak. Okay? This is an item, there's a motion on the floor. And the motion, excuse me, Mr. Kim.
You already going to finish the meeting.
No, I take it back. I made a mistake. It should have been recessed.
What
Yes.
happened to the
Again.
lawyers, city lawyers? It's an agenda meeting already.
No, the mayor has acknowledged an error in his comment, so the meeting is not adjourned. It is recessed as clarified.
One simple item on the agenda that I requested, and that is the removal of the future agenda items. Now, Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro disagree with that, and we see that. They have an opportunity to meet with the city manager to discuss any items that they feel are worthy of city business, and they have that opportunity. As you are aware, Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro have not come to the briefings, and that really hurts our dynamics as a council. So I would encourage them to attend the briefings once every 2 weeks, to come in, have questions ready, have done their homework and read the agendas, and try to move the city forward. What we're doing by these future agenda items is grandstanding at the end of the meeting and making sensational requests and wasting resources and time and energy from our staff. Now, if there's a legitimate future agenda item that I feel should be on the agenda, and I as mayor should take a look at that, discuss it with our city manager, and see if it has merit. And if it does have merit, then we'll put it on the agenda. And that's all I'm asking, is to work in a more professional manner. So right now, there is a motion on the floor to remove the future agenda items. And I believe Mr. Hurtado or Mr. Real had seconded for discussion. Discussion is now over. Please vote.
So you can,
This
I cannot come to the
discussion
city
is over, Mr. Kim.
okay?
Please, those in favor, respond by saying aye.
No.
Wait a minute. I didn't say respond by saying no. I said respond by saying aye.
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 No.
Those opposed, respond by saying no.
No.
The-
Motion carries 3 to 2.
I want to note in my no.
Motion carries 3 to 2.
I want to note my no's. No's reason because
Move on.
to take
Okay,
away
moving
power
on.
from
We
the
don't
city
need any
council
explanation, Mr. Kim. Explanation is
members. Remove
over.
the power from the council
Mr.
members.
Kim.
to
Mr. Kim,
write on
the
the
explanation
agenda.
is over. Now we're going to go to informational items, which is item number 23.
So acknowledged.
Acknowledged and receipt. Now the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you all next year.
Happy New Year, too.
Happy New Year.